This is a video chart presentation of Web Media Brands Inc. Web Media Brands is a NASDAQ Global Select stock trading under ticker WEBM. Potential bounce play chart here. See nice up day on Friday, up 7.5%, low volume, 49,000 shares, coming off a historic support level. But I want to note something else here. We always talk about positive divergence with the MACD. I wanted to show something right through here. You can see this chart was actually kind of channeling sideways, a bearish feel to it for sure, coming through here, and then a nice climb, getting a little bullish. Look at that MACD and the significantly lower high that was made the last time. Now, price per share didn't get very far away from where it did the first time around. Truly considered a negative divergence? Not really, because you like to see the price per share trending upward. Take a look at the INDU, the Dow chart, and you'll actually see a price per share that was still trending upward while the MACD was making lower highs. So while this chart in the short term right through here has a pretty good look to potentially bounce and try and make up some ground it's lost recently, I really wanted to show these two peaks and a very substantially lower high that was made in the MACD, giving hints that possibly was going to start to drop back off. PPO, of course, followed right along in line. This isn't a bad look for this position right now for the ADX to try and move upward. Pretty good reversal position for that indicator. Clearly MFI trending downward. Accumulation distribution, not in a bad spot, holding a pretty good flatline base level right through this area. Shaking money flow, showing buying and selling pressures equalizing. CCI starting to make its move upward. Full stow, slightly higher lows. Tricks, just not getting anything from that either. But again, you see the downtrend that's in effect. What you look for on these sort of things is for this to try and break this pattern. If it can make this roll and break back through this trend line and start trending back towards zero, it would really increase the odds this chart might try and uptrend with some sustainability. RSIs, of course, last couple days have been pretty decent days. Got the momentum shifting. As I mentioned, pretty good support level area right there on 74.75 cents. Interesting to note about this chart here in the near term, not a lot of resistance. A little bit right there around $1.05, but strong resistance doesn't really come into play until up around $1.15, $1.16, that area. Pretty nice climb from where it is. See it closed at 86 cents. As I mentioned, a low volume play. I didn't check the share structure on this, but that 50,000 share area is about normal for it over the last 3 months. Of course, like most other low volume plays, it can really pick up with some strong movement, but on the whole, generally trades pretty thin. So if I'm going to keep this on a watch list and see if it's going to try and move, I'd certainly be looking for some volume spikes to come in to give it a decent push. But it does have a support level pretty close to it, and the upside's pretty large before it has to run into any real resistance. So it's a pretty nice chart to look at here this week to see how it's going to perform. I also thought it was a pretty good one to bring in to show things to look for when you see that MACD making a lot lower of a high. And as I mentioned, I would recommend taking a look at the INDU chart, and you can see a little bit better example of some negative divergence. Good chart to share, good one to kick the week off with. We'll be adding WEBM to the watch list to see how it performs this week. But as always, this is merely my interpretation of the Web Media Brands Inc. chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.